Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install PostgreSQL into your machine, into your computer, and use it for SQL and SQL related analysis. So let's dive in. So right here, I'm using a browser. You can use just any browser to do that. And I'm just going to write PostgreSQL, and I'm just going to use download on it too. So with this, I'm just going to hit my enter button and it's going to check for this. So when it gets here, you could do any of, depending on what shows up in your browser. You see, you've got a download here and you've got a site that you can click here to go. So what I'm trying to say is that almost any of these, if you click here, you're going to go to, yes, the download site. If you click here, so if you want the Windows installer, possibly it just detected I'm using Windows. That's why I have this. So you could click on anyone. I'm going to click on this download here. So I want Windows. So I'm going to click on Windows here. And when I click on it, a lot of information come up here. So it's not any big deal. It's just telling me that I can download the installer from here, and that the installer is hosted in some other website. That's what is here. And it tells us the different things that will come with our install. The server would come with it. The PgAdmin, which is actually a graphical user interface that we'll use to interact with the database. Then we've got Stack Builder. So Stack Builder is an application that helps to install extensions so that you can use it with PostgreSQL. All right, so that would also be installed. So let's just go straight and install it here. So I'm going to just click that. So it brings up this, and I'm going to just click on this one to download it. And so it's going to come up with this. So you can see that I've already downloaded it because of time. Actually, it didn't take that long for us to do that. So you have three options here. You can just open it and it starts installing from the internet. You could save it with another name, but in your machine, or you could just save it and it goes to somewhere like in your download folder or something like that. Now, I have already downloaded it. It didn't take me that long. I thought it will, but here it is about 341 MB, and I was able to download it. So I'm going to just cancel this one, and we're just going to come here and continue our installation. So while here, I'm just going to double click on it, and it's going to bring this up for me. And I'm going to say, yes, it should do exactly that. And there it is. It is running the installation. So here it is. I have it right here. So I'm just going to click next. Here it tells us that it's going to put it inside our C drive, and it's going to be in the programs file, which is ideal. So we just click on that to go on. Now, these are the different things that it's going to put inside there. The first two are the main ones that we need. The other two are not really what we need, but we're going to accept it as the default and just install them. Possibly you might need those tools in the future, but as a data analyst beginner, the first two are the main ones that you would need. So we're going to go ahead, and that's the directory is going to put our data. Anything about our data is going to sit or store in here. Very necessary. So next, it tells us an existing data directory has been found. This directory and its configuration will be used for the installation. That is fine. It's not going to change anything. If you don't see, just go to the next. This is very important. This information, I would just suggest you just copy it, Control C and paste it somewhere that you might need it. Actually, the most important things here are the database port, which is 5432. It's very important. The username for the super user, Postgres, that's very important. We're going to use them later and the password. So we're going to get to password and so on. But you can just copy this somewhere, put it somewhere, and wait to use it. So next we click, and it says setup is now ready to install, and that's what we want. So it usually takes quite some time for it to install, depending on your depending on the capacity of your machine. It could take some time, but you should just let it flow and let it just install. So like you can see, we are almost done, and it took quite some time to have all the installation in place. But as long as you've done it right, it's definitely going to have it installed for you. And that's it. So we're right here, and it has been done for us. So what I'm going to do here is that I can click the finish button. But here you can see this is ticked, stating that maybe I want to install some additional tools that I might need. But I'm just going to untick it, you know. I'm just going to untick that because I don't want to install anything for now using the stack builder. And I'm just going to click finish. And when I click finish, it simply means that my installation has been done. So whichever way you go to check for what you might have installed in your application, you can use that way to, you know, just do a check. So I'm going to click on I want to see everything that has been installed. And I'm actually going to check for my Postgres. Yeah, so here is it. So you can see. Or if you don't see, you can just go to your desktop and do a refresh and a refresh, and then just go back there and then do a check of it. So I'm just going to come here, and I'm going to check for it. Or I could type it here to get it, but if I go to P, here it is. So I'm going to click on it. So I'm going to see all the application. You can see Stack Builder that I could just, you know, start off with to install any extension, installation notes, PostgreAdmin 4, and so on. So, and we have other things that could help us. But this is where we are coming to, the PgAdmin. So PgAdmin is just a user interface that we use in, you know, working with the database itself. You get it, the Postgres SQL itself. So I'm going to click on this now. I'm going to click on this, and so it's going to come up now. And you would see that with this, we can use it to actually talk to the database, interact with the database, and all whatnot. So let's see what it comes up with. So here is it. So here is the interface and all of it, you know. So what we just need to do is to come in here. And so once we click that we want to see the database that are in here, you see it's going to say enter a password, you know, enter a password. So when we're installing any password that you have used, then you just have to take note of that password. So it's very important. I have used the password also, and I could tell it to save the password, and I just click OK here. So this is how it's going to come out. So you actually, these are just performance dashboards that you see out here. But where we're actually going is to the database. So if you click here, so you see where we started. We started from server. It brought us PostgreSQL 17. And here it shows which databases that we have here. So you can see here, it's got a database called Postgres. You get it? So it initially just has this as an initial database that you see or use when you are in it. So what is here, this database that is here, this Postgres database, you can see that you have many of it, you know, here. You have other things that it uses all here. So you're going to find yourself mostly coming to this schema section. So if I click on this schema, you're going to see database objects, for example, what the functions, you know, foreign tables, actually the table. So you're going to be coming a lot to this particular place, you know, the views or things like queries where it stores them. So this is where you're going to have it being done. So right now, inside it, we do not have any table there. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to right click on it and I want it to create a table for me. um I'm not going to just go straight to creating a table now. I can come here to this query tool and just click the query tool like this. So it's going to open up this place for us to see, and it's a place where we can write queries to say we want to insert, you know, we want to create a table. You get it? So I could come here and do the create create a table, and the table name I would just call it anything. I'm just going to call it people underscore name, and like this. So I want to create a table. Now inside that table, inside this bracket that I've created here, I'm just going to write in what I want to be in it. So I'm going to have an ID that would I'm going to have an ID column. I'm going to comma. I'm going to have first name underscore name, first name, and I would like this first name to be a virtual. What I mean by that, it should be a variable character. And if I want to limit how many characters that goes in there, I could just write 50 here and comma. I'm going to just surname or last name. Let's call it last underscore name. I like it small letters, last name. Okay, and it's going to just be voucher and like this. So we still have that 150. So for this one, I want it to be my serial. I want it to come, that's, in other words, the ID should be serial, and I want this one to be my primary key. So much of that when you get into creating tables in SQL, but just to let you know that in tables, we usually have a column that will act as the primary key, especially for tables that are going to house the one side, you know, of a relationship, you know. So just something like that. So at this point, this should be ready to run, and let's try it. So I'm going to just select it and just click on this run button. And so it says it has created a table successfully for me. Let me just click on this table thing and yeah. So I need to, let me just do a refresh, and there it is. You can see my table names. You know, table names is now a table inside this. Now the next thing we can do is just test it out, and we are going to do an insert into. So I'm going to try to insert into this table called people underscore names. So I'm going to insert inside it, and I'm going to state the way I want to insert things inside it. So my first name underscore name is going to be one of the first one, and the second one should be my last underscore name. Okay, so those are the fields that I want to do an insert into, and I'm going to say the fields that I'm going to have values. What are the values that I want to insert into it? So these values are going to be strings, you know. So I'm going to have Charles. I'm going to have Charles, and I'm going to have Adams, comma Adams. Yeah. So this will be able to insert the names inside. So if I should select it and run it, So it looks like I've got some errors here. No, this should not be here. I don't think that should be there. Okay. Um, let's try to run it again. All right, successfully we got it in place. All right, so this means that we already have this name inside the table. Let's just have a second name inside. I'm going to use Peter Gabriel, and maybe just an else. Okay, and I'm just going to select that and then run it again, and it says that it's successful. So the last thing in testing how all of these work, I'm going to just do a select all from people underscore names. I have to be particular, it's small letter. And what I'm going to do is just to run this one now. So I'm just going to come here and run it. So you can see that there's an option to press F5. So while I've selected it, I'm going to press F5. And you can see that it has come up with the names that I had inserted into the table. So this is just to test that PgAdmin 4 is working. Our installation is also working, and you could start to do many things with SQL using this interface. In the next video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring in another user interface application that you can use to, work with PostgreSQL. I'm not really a fan of PgAdmin 4, but I usually use dbeaver. So you're going to get a video on how to install dbeaver and how to connect it to your PostgreSQL, and then to use that for whatever you want to use. Okay, so for this video, I'm happy that you'll be able to install PostgreSQL, and it is working in your machine. Thank you. See you in another video.